Anthony Volpe is a Yankee. Well, I mean, he's been a Yankee, but now he's actually going to be playing on the Yankees. I read Aaron Boone. He's going to hit ninth on Thursday when they play against the San Francisco Giants. He is 21, will be 22 on April 28th. 314, 3 home runs, 5 stolen bases, 51 at bats. I've talked about him before. They just said he plays his ass off. There's a great picture of him running the bases. He was brought into Aaron Boone's office yesterday where he was said, hey, you know, this whole like just playing around with him. And then he says, you made the team. Hug from Boone, hug from Cashman, then with his family. I mean, come on. That's every kid. He went to Del Barton. He went to the same school as Treetop. He's from Watchung, New Jersey. He grew up a Yankee fan. And you don't want to compare him to anybody, but this is a hell of a start to a career. We'll see what happens. I see him just busting his ass to do everything he can to get better, play better, and just will be busting his, every day. He is hungry. You need glue guys like this. Lanker's excited. I'm excited. It's funny. I asked Katie Sharp, who does all things Yankee, every stat, everything about the Yankees. And she said, I said, so what's your prediction? She goes, I do facts, I don't do predictions. Now, in my head, I said 92 and 70. I see Judge this year, 40 home runs. I see over 100 RBIs. Is he hitting for average? Hey, I'd like him to surprise me. Maybe he'll hit 50, but we'll see what happens. 92 and 70. Guys can stay healthy. You got Cole. Severino has a lat strain. He's not going to pitch for another 5 to 7 days. So Johnny Brito, who's only pitched in double and triple A, he threw 5 1/3 perfect innings against the yesterday. I think it was against the Blue Jays. So they said he could be pitching some games for the Yankees. We'll see what happens on that front. You know, I mean, Severino's been hurt all the goddamn time. They've never been able to rely on him. We'll see what happens. They sent Peraza down to AAA. He'll be coming up for somebody. You know, there's somebody who's always going to get hurt and better get at bats than sitting on the bench up in New York. And Volpe's, they're going to see what they have here. They got to let him play every day, and he's young, hungry, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting. And they say Greg Weissert likely made the team as a final bullpen spot in the roster. We'll see what happens with, I mean, that's the thing. Guys are getting hurt all the time. Severino, again, shut down 5 to 7 days. With him, there's nothing good about that. I mean, he just seems like he gets hurt all the goddamn time. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's after last year, they won the championships in 2009. I've been to a World Series since 2009, the Yankees. And I don't really think they brought in Rodon, who is going to be shut down for a while. And Montas also, he's injured. I mean, it's going to, they really, you don't know what's going to happen with the starting rotation. They haven't really, closers. We're going to see what happens on that front for the Yankees. And, they don't have Robertson. Robertson's on the Mets now. And, and that's another thing, the bullpen. I mean, Yankees got spoiled with Rivera. And that's not somebody who will always replace. And they don't, and he didn't end last year. It didn't end well with Chapman at all. I mean, and then he didn't show up for practice, so he wasn't on the postseason roster. So he's gone, and he seemed to have lost a lot on everything. And we're going to see what happens this year with the Yankees. I mean, time will tell, and it's about guys staying healthy. That's the thing. It's about guys. I mean, you had Judge healthy all last season, and it still didn't matter. I mean, they didn't have great pitching, and they faltered by the end of the season and postseason. I mean, Judge was burnt out from pursuing the record, and nobody hit. I saw Donaldson hit 3 home runs in 3 days. Does that mean he really had a shitty season last year? His bat speed was off and everything? I mean, there's a lot of ifs here. What's Volpe going to do? Hicks is going to have to get some playing time, I would think, out in the outfield. And what's his name? Hurt his lat. Bader hurt his lat. So, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Harrison Bader hurt his lat. I mean, that's the thing. You already have guys injured before the season even starts. Bumbles talks about it. I said, well, it really matters how the season ends, but you don't want to start off where you start off at 5 and 20, and you're playing catch up the rest of the season either. So we're going to see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The Mets, they chose Peterson as the 5th starter after Quintana got hurt. We're going to see how that works out for them. He had a 0.7 ERA in spring training. McGill's going to get some pitching. They're going to need him. And you have opening day, you have Alcantara versus Scherzer. And you have, for the Yankees, you have Cole versus, I had all of the matchups. I mean, that's really the big one is Scherzer versus Alcantara opening day is pretty awesome. That's going to be a great